Hi guys, this is take two, actually maybe take three of this video. The first time I didn't get very far though. Second time I was almost done and my husband walked in and I really don't feel like editing this one. So I am coming to you from the floor of my bedroom because I have been wrapping Christmas presents and usually I would do this in the living room. But this year I'm kind of afraid. My son wakes up usually like between 11, 12, and then usually ends up in his sister's bed. And I didn't want him to see me wrapping something that he shouldn't see me wrapping. So, all sequestered in my room, which is totally messy, but whatever. But this is my 6-week post-op duodenal switch revision from lap band to duodenal switch update. I've had the surgery on November 9th, 2016 with Dr. Bermudez at Rex Hospital in Raleigh, North Carolina. My highest weight was 304 pounds. My weight on the day of surgery after a 1-week liquid diet was 283 pounds. My weight last week was 266 pounds, and my weight this week is 263.8 pounds for a loss of 2.2 pounds this week. That's 19.2 pounds since surgery and 40.2 pounds since my high weight for this. So 40 pounds, great with. 2.2 pounds for the week, not super happy with, but I guess I'll deal with it. I think that's probably because of a couple of things that have happened this past week. I found that I ate out for lunch a lot this week. My husband was off work and the kids were still in school, so he came over and took me out for some nice lunches. And I just had a hard time choosing things that were best for me, I think. Ended up a little high on carbs most of those days. Just had a hard time. One day we went to a sort of southern bar food type place, southern inspired, so they had meatloaf and they had some seafood and they had sandwiches and things like that. I ended up getting some fried oysters, figuring those would be, mostly protein with a little bit of carbs on the outside. But turns out, no, they're not. So I think I've learned that I need to look some things up before I order them. Everything's an estimate too, but because restaurants just don't tell you exactly what's in the things they're making for you, but yeah. So I think that's one of the issues that I was having. The second problem, I found that on the weekend, so last weekend it was pretty much my first weekend in doing like normal stuff the whole weekend, the things that I would do before surgery, when I also had a problem sort of eating and drinking enough, because whenever we would be, like my husband would stay here with the kids and I would go grocery shopping. And so before this, I found often I would, we would get up and have some breakfast and I would get ready to go, or we would even go out to breakfast, then come home to put my son down for a nap, and then I would go. And by the time I get to where I'm going, I realize I was really thirsty and I was probably kind of hungry because I hadn't had any lunch and it was probably about lunchtime then. And so that is the same kind of thing that happened this week. One day I forgot to take my water with me. I'd made one up to take with me, but I forgot to take it. And I just didn't eat enough on the weekend, so I didn't get enough protein, didn't get enough water. And my protein overall for this week has been lower than it has been. So I think it's been around 70 grams of protein per day, whereas the previous weeks I was around 90. So I did have a protein hot chocolate last night, and that helped a little bit when I was really low on protein, because it was a pretty high carb day, and I needed some more protein. So I had a protein hot chocolate that was low carb, and that helped some. But I think I need to get back to having a protein coffee in the morning. So I'm looking to start that again to help with the protein issue. But also because of the high carbs that I've had this week, I've had a few stomach issues, tummy issues, just not feeling great and having a little more urgency going to the bathroom, and that I hadn't really had since. I will say that I was on my period this week, and sometimes that happens. That happened even before surgery. So I'm hoping that maybe that is part of the cause, but I think it was also the carbs. So I'm looking to do better next week. We'll see how it goes with Christmas. Good thing is, usually there's lots of turkey, ham, everything. We have 3 holiday dinners that we go to. We go to Christmas Eve, we go to Christmas Day lunch, and then we go to Christmas Day dinner at 3 different places. So, yeah, that will be fun, and trying to avoid all of the sweets. Speaking of avoiding sweets, it has been that kind of a week at work. You know, the week before Christmas, there's been sweet stuff every day in the break room. And today, a bunch of people did sort of a cookie swap. And so at about 11 o'clock before lunchtime, they got together in the break room, and anybody who brought cookies could sort of pick and choose from the cookies that other people brought, things to take home with them. And then whatever was left over were left there for, up for grabs for everybody else. And I did not eat any of that. I didn't even take a small nibble. I had none of it. It was very hard. Some of them looked absolutely delicious, and that is, sweet things are my downfall. Before, when I had the lap band, I had some good restriction, so I didn't eat much for dinner, or so usually by then it was kind of like, a few bites and I was kind of done. But then if I could eat chocolate, I could eat a milkshake, of course, that just goes right down. I could eat candy, whatever. I'm a chocolate fiend, so I would buy a bag of chocolate and in my desk at work, and occasionally grab a bite, and sometimes lots of bites during a day. Stress eater. So anyway, that was hard, but I managed to avoid it. You may be able to tell the cold that I had last week is hanging on a little bit. It's my voice sometimes sounds super froggy because I get mucus in my throat, and it's just weird. I've coughed quite a bit, especially today, but usually sort of the end of the day, I start coughing at work, which kind of sucks, but today I was coughing kind of all day. But I feel fine. I blow my nose a lot. There's sort of just extra stuff. I have to pop my ears occasionally. So there's just mucus still in there. But all in all, I feel okay. I never felt super horrible. It's just a cold. But it is kind of hanging on. this time last year, I had an awful sinus chest something infection, and I just felt horrible the whole time. I skipped most of our Christmas activities because I just couldn't. And I think it took me, months to completely get rid of that. But I feel much better than I did then. So I feel like this isn't a horrible thing. And I've rambled for 10 minutes already, but I have one more thing. Oh, besides, this is my favorite Christmas movie shirt. I can't put my arms down from A Christmas Story. I haven't watched the movie yet this year. Usually I wait till I used to wait and not really watch it until it was on for 24 hours. We don't have cable anymore, so we don't get the channel that does that, but I do own the movie, and I will probably watch it tomorrow night. Yes. So, absolute favorite Christmas movie. But I have, and this shirt is really big on me this year, so that's great. And another thing that's really great, as speaking of things fitting, my whole family is in a wedding on New Year's Eve, and I have a lot to do around that, getting my son his clothes. He's going to be a ring bearer, and just a few things here and there, getting my hair done, which is happening tomorrow. It's just needs done. But the one thing that I thought I was going to have to do that I won't have to do is get my bridesmaid's dress altered. I had to buy it, I think it was July, August. And it came in, I think, in September. But at that point, I knew I was going to have weight loss surgery, but I didn't know when it was going to be. So I was taking a big risk buying a dress. I went ahead, and I thought it was going to be probably October, and that is when I was originally scheduled. I had to put it off for another 2 weeks because I got sick. But I thought it was going to be in October, and I decided that I would buy my dress one size smaller than the measurements dictated that I should. And my dress fits. A couple weeks ago it didn't fit. Last week it fit, but it was still a little tight in some places. But this week it fits. And it fits pretty well, and if I lose a couple pounds, it'll probably fit even better. But it fits, so I don't think I have to go get it altered. I think I'll probably take it to get it pressed, so that it looks nice, because it's got a bunch of wrinkles, and it's very clingy right now because of the dry weather and static cling and stuff, but I don't have to get my dress altered. I really thought that I would either have to get it taken in a bunch, or when it didn't fit immediately, I thought I might need to have it let out some, but it fits pretty well. And I found my strapless bra that I was wearing when I got married, which has been in a box like under the bed probably since then, and we've been married now for 14 years. But I had lost some weight before I got married, and so my dress wouldn't have fit me before surgery. But that bra fits now and goes well with my dress, and everything is where it should be, and it fits. So I'm super happy about that. I guess if I had lost more weight, and maybe it wouldn't have fit, and I would not be so happy. But right now I'm happy. So that is it for me for this week, and I hope everybody has a happy holiday, whatever holiday you celebrate, and to be back here with you in a week. All right. Talk to you later.